WakeMed and Duke Health, they have both agreed now to a multi-million-dollar settlement over their use of tracking pixels. So the lawsuit claims that those pixels shared sensitive patient information with Facebook's parent company. But 5 on Your Side's Keely Arthur explains there's a big question that neither of these settlements has answered.
The suits are based on a 2022 report from news outlet The Markup. Now, they found hospital systems across the country installed a tracker called the Metapixel on their websites. And in some cases, the pixel sent meta information about patients' medications, allergies, and even sexual orientation. One of the thousands of tiny pixels that make up the image on your computer screen was reportedly collecting information about patients visiting their hospital's patient portal.
Those pixels can also be used to house code, to house information. In this particular case, it's a very unique piece of code that takes information regarding whoever is using that website at the time and sends that back to the web server of whoever is implementing that. I mean, in the case at hand, it's Meta or Facebook.
That was cybersecurity expert Clark Walton in 2022 explaining to 5 on Your Side how tracking pixels work. Nearly 3 years later, Duke University Health System and WakeMed are settling patients' pixel lawsuits.
Why is this happening to begin with? This is my patient data.
Alex Ondrick is one of the WakeMed patients who was notified by the hospital system that his medical information may have been sent to Facebook. Since that notification, he says he's been given almost nothing more in terms of details about what happened.
What happened, right? What happened? You haven't told me anything. I'm going to assume the worst. And so the lack of information, the lack of transparency makes me think that it's actually a lot worse than you're telling me.
WakeMed is settling their lawsuit for just under $2.5 million and Duke for $3.7 million. But those lawsuits may only offer a small payout to potentially hundreds of thousands of patients affected. And neither settlement addresses the biggest question mark in this whole thing. What patient details were sent to Meta?
I have no confidence that I will ever know what was disclosed, why it was disclosed, and what's happening to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Now, neither Duke nor WakeMed would say what patient information was transmitted to Meta when we asked. Now, both hospital systems deny any wrongdoing in their respective settlement agreements. And in a statement, WakeMed added in part that the court has not ruled that WakeMed did anything wrong. Their full statement is on WRAL.com.
Thank you to Keely, and at least we got a statement from WakeMed. When we asked Duke Health, they told us no comment when we asked for a response to this settlement.